and the Targon Titans on the red side. This is how the draft went down. We saw Shen, Kennen, Syndra banned out from Demacia against Targon, and Targon responded with Zed, Fiddlesticks, Galio. So Zed and Fiddlesticks both fairly unique here. The Galio definitely a respect pick against
Okay,
Chester.
but also we did see for DMJ, Frostide is mid lane, and Simon is AD carry. Loel is AD carry.
Okay, that is definitely,
Which they would have known before this happened.
yeah, while they were locking it in. So, yeah, I guess
So keep that in mind as we run through.
the fiddle ban is definitely, I'm not sure where they're seeing that from. Maybe they scouted that out, but that's one of our first fiddle bans, and maybe they saw it in a couple of games and just decided that they didn't want to take that fight into it. I'm not sure. DMJ first pick Zeri in the bot lane, and then Targon answer with Vayne Vi. So Vayne Zeri, not a matchup that we've seen so far.
Haven't seen much Zeri. Okay, no, so this is Zeri for Simon, though. Okay, not Jordan. Okay, I don't even know what Loel... Just keep going. I don't know what AD carries Loel plays.
No, I mean, both of them fairly short ranged and scaling. I think both of them happy to just kind of handshake away the lane phase and get into the late game. Definitely Vayne is, and yeah, Zeri as well. So they're fine to do that. We'll have to see what happens in lane. Vi picked up. That's nice early game aggression. Answered by Sejuani Rise. Rise, another heavily scaling teamfight champion. So both Zeri and Rise locked in for Demacia. With Sejuani as a front line, that it's a clear definition of they want to play front to back and really manipulate in team fights, especially with the Rise and the Realm Warp, right?
Yeah.
Ahri picked up here by Targon. Minty picking up his Ahri is I wouldn't call him a one trick. I'd call him a main for sure. And so he gets his main here, and also Vi Ahri is a great mid jungle duo. Jason, you know,
Quite powerful.
Yeah, it's extraordinarily powerful. One that we see in pro play. Vi is also near the top of the power rankings in terms of what we're seeing in pro play at the moment. So strong rotations here. I'm not sure about the Vayne. Maybe he's got a really good matchup into Zeri, but I think they could have gone, you know, a different angle if they had wanted to. Something that would match up more with.
I think Zeri has a priority in the.
Yeah, the Vayne seems like the asterisk here to me. The bans that came through, we saw Fiora Taric getting banned out, as well as Yuumi and Dr. Mundo. The Yuumi feels kind of targeted, but I would never think of Chestnut as a Yuumi player, so maybe that was just a miss. But the Reganent's Taric that we saw a handful of weeks back with the Taric Nyla, that was oppressive and definitely worth the ban there. And then we see the Fiora, that's a third ban against Chaffel, something he's no stranger to, getting banned out.
I believe our only player to see 5 bans against them in a single game.
Yes, I do hold that crown. Let's see, after that, Targon selected Maokai, and this is a bit of a flex, could go top, could go support, with the Vi probably not going jungle. And then they answer with Gnar and Renata. So Zeri Renata, bot side with Gnar, Sejuani Rise in the top side. And then Targon with the 5th and final counter pick. They picked up Aurelia for Chaffles in the top lane. A lot of AD. Ahri is the only, you know, with Maokai support, Ahri is the only real AP threat, and that's going to fall off compared to the side of Demacia, where they've got the scaling Rise. And they've also got Zeri and, you know, the
I don't feel great about Aurelia and the Gnar, but it is, it's not a losing match. It's not a lost matchup, but I think Gnar has priority. Of course, Shen, Kennen, and Fiora also banned out, so, you know, the pickings get slim. I don't want to dwell too long on the draft, but I do feel like Zeri has priority over Vayne, at least during the early levels. I think Renata Glass makes it super hard to engage as Maokai. However, you can Twisted Advance, just get past them. Sejuani, there's half a melee character on her team, so she's gonna have to do a lot of work herself.
Okay, great. 7, 8, 9.
Yep.
Okay, great. So we are here.
Okay.
Get the chat turned off.
It will. Grand.
All right, Jason. So this is our final game of Week 8. After this game, we'll only have 2 matches left. Targon wants to bounce back here. They've got Minty. Let's take a look at the actual team, like the players that we've got playing. This is Frostide's final week as a short-term contract player for Demacia. He's going to be playing mid here after 2 weeks at jungle. Looks like Inferno was not able to make the match, and so Lowell will play bot, and Frostide will sub in mid here. Getting his rise.
Scheduling difficulties running into this. Yeah, during the draft, I didn't want to try to figure out too hard what the rise is because I don't believe Frostide is a mid laner. So I don't, it's probably just one of the champions he knows how to play.
Yeah,
Got to put a team comp around it.
Exciting things here though, like Crispy on the Vein has a lot of late game 1v9 potential. A Reganon on Maokai is very unusual. We were talking about engage versus disengage, and we've seen these two support players swap identities, right? A Reganon is on the engage champion here, Chestnut on the disengage. So, yeah, very interesting.
I don't
think
we haven't seen too much Renata Glask outside of the Crimson Yoni playing it.
We see junglers are going to start opposite sides of the map as the Twisted advance from a Reganon onto Lowell. Nice little trade forward, but they are able to trade that back, so it's actually a one trade by Demacia. They're happy to take that. Look to press that advantage.
I'm watching Aztec in the top side of the map. There is a chance that he goes for a transition gank through mid lane as he clears down to the bot side. But I would be unusual for me to. I would not expect Aztec to be the player to go for that. Nice engage topside, drops Bell quite low.
Well, that was a great stun. Great use from the blades there in order to actually land that stun. And even though he doesn't get the kill, he doesn't have ignite. He's got teleport flash. That big trade there is going to give him huge pressure in this lane phase until Bell gets a reset. So the fact that Aztec is pathing bot side, he's going to be happy to have found that really nice early trade.
Yeah, Foxy spotted out on a nice ward placed at level 1, and now going to run into his blue side and be spotted again by a deep ward out of Chaffles. So nice vision to track the jungler on the from Targon.
Yeah, we can actually take a look here. They do see him on vision right now. Pings are going down from Targon, so Boxy is spotted out. Aztec still unknown, but they're doing very similar things. They're pathing, just opposite directions here. Both of them are on their blue buff at the same time.
Yep, no vision as of yet shown for Aztec, so he could look for a gank onto the bot side, but the lane doesn't seem to be in a position for it. May just go for a complete reset or some scuttles. I always love some good scuttle action. Top lane bouncing away from Bell after that rough first trade, but Gnar has some nice ways to gain his health back, drops the pot, and gets Mega Gnar and some levels. He's feeling pretty good about himself now. Wave pushing away, he's got to be dangerous. Engage.
Yeah, Chaffles has got a really nice freeze going on here, but because of that, it's a temporary level disadvantage. So Bell able to cash in on some of these early levels and actually kind of heal back up just based on levels and the raw stats. Frostide taking his first aggressive trade here in the mid. Minty will land a charm. Nice little Q2 will chunk Frost. Pretty even trade there as pings from Reganon and Aztec. This could be going down onto mid. Frost does have flash up. We'll see if he's able to get out. It's a flash Q forward followed up by the Twisted Advance, and that is going to be a donated first blood going over, and the Targon Titans will collect as Chestnut is here top side. Yeah.
Full lane swap to avoid the Aurelia.
Look at Targon though. Targon is on the roam. They're sending 4 top to try and answer this because they have the time. Frost is not going to teleport out. He's just going to walk out. So, yeah, they're definitely on the tempo advantage here, but I'm not, because they've committed Aztec back towards top because of the way that he cleared his jungle, they can't actually take advantage. So Lowell and Chestnut are actually kind of pushed off of this wave.
I want to see Targon try to chase this lane swap. The Aurelia Gnar matchup is really going well for them thus far, and this wave is pushing away. Chaffles is about to be in a rough spot if he doesn't get some help soon.
He is 2 levels up here, though, so level 4 comes in for Lowell. I do expect that the solo lane, level 6, will hit around like the 7-minute mark, so if he can just hold on...
It'll be the wave that comes out and at 6:30.
Yeah, we'll see.
The wave that spawns at 6 minutes, and you get 6 off the wave that dies there. Reganin clearing out the ward in the bush. I like that.
It's gonna
Dive
be an
down from
engage. The
Chestnut.
handshake down, the exhaust down. It's a flash forward from Oreganon. Lands the twisted advance, and the bramble smash goes out. The bailout onto himself, but he doesn't even need it. And so it will be a flash for flash as both supports expend all of their summoner spells. But Chestnut will escape. There's a really nice handshake and a nice exhaust there in order to live
Aztec
through that.
revealing himself on a clearing a pink ward on the bot side on the dragon. And DMJ deciding they're not going to deal with that. They're just going to run Boxy up here to the top side to support Simon and Chestnut. Really trying to play through this area so far, or at least trying to avoid Bell getting too far behind.
Yeah, Crispy kind of catching up in levels here, actually. Is a level ahead of Luell. Luell just digging over to 5 here. They are going to crash this wave, so it's teleport out. Crispy's going to tumble forward. They've got their clear delineation of power now. Demacia has committed towards topside. They are just going to trade objectives. So they will go 1-for-1 on objectives. Jason, what's the... After watching this for about a minute and a half, what do we think about this lane swap? Do we want to see it continue?
I want to see Targon try to chase the matchup because it seems like Choffles has every capability to win the 1v1, but on the same hand, Crispy's doing so on his own in the bot side, just 1v1ing Bell as Vayne, and he's going to get even stronger. Goes for the kill.
Yeah,
Doesn't quite find it. He's going to be able to go forward.
Oh, he will. Oh my goodness, so a fully heated up
lives.
tower. Yeah, that is a solo kill under tower. So not only does he get the kill, but he also punishes all that XP will be lost. So a huge pickup in for Targon. That brings them to 2-0, and they're up about 1,000 gold 7.5 minutes in here, Jason.
Yeah, on both sides of the map, this feels like a net good thing for the AD carries and bad for the top laners.
Yeah, I do think Chappels has, with the fact that Oreganon has committed towards topside, he has been able to find continued farm. But yeah, this kind of turned a winning bot side for Demacia into a neutralized state. They're actually down in farm. Just with that wave do they catch up to the Vayne.
Yep, up till then, it was looking much worse. Crispy over 10 CS up above them. Chopple's holding the wave. He says, I'm not going to let you take this for free. He's going to freeze the wave on himself, deny farm. Right now, Targon, I think, is looking quite comfortable.
Yeah, they've got conditions here, and the fact that they've been able to find early kills on a Crispy and Minty, these are, two players that when they get a lead, they do know how to continue to push that lead. So, Chaffle's on the Aurelia as well. Let's take a look at the gold differential here, Jason. He's up about 500 on his role opponent, sitting at 74 CS already, tied for most in the game.
Yeah, Reganon swapping back to bot side, and Luell and Chestnut move to follow as Bell resets out. Ooh, Charm just missing mid.
Yeah, Frostnite is taking these trades, and I'm not sure Ryze is supposed to be winning this early. I think Ahri should be at level 8 handily winning the 1v1s, so the fact that he's going even, I don't think this is going to be good for Ahri in the late game, because this Ryze is just going to continue to scale and be problematic. I think this could be indicative of the fact that Minty might not be able to handle Frostite in the side lane when we get into the 1-3-1 or the split push portion of the game.
When Ryze is able to dodge out either your Q or your E...
Flash from Aztec.
Oh,
and he gets rooted under
tower.
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 Oh, it was just the overzealous play there. They didn't commit the cease and desist, so it's just the Q4
Red
and
buff's
it will
available.
miss.
Minty's getting run down.
Frostite with a flash forward, and it's a double kill. What an insane misplay into outplay. And Demacia will level it up nearly on gold, but certainly on kills here. Massive play here for the substitute in the mid lane.
Yeah, that's a double solo bolo. Absolutely, I would say unexpected. Frostite switching over into mid lane, but showing us he's got what it takes. Level 9 with a Rod of Ages, 10 minutes into the game, he's going to be feeling quite nice.
Just an unforced error, Jason. And Minty dying with Flash and Spirit Rush, both of them up. Didn't want to commit there. They didn't commit the cease and assist. The Flash into Vault Breaker as Oreganon will do the same. It's a twisted advance into the Nature's Grasp. They get the exhaust down, though. A lot of damage coming back as they fight topside as well. It's a 2v2 topside as Chaffles and Aztec will try and go in on a Boxy and Bell. Chaffles and Aztec, they do collect one, and that's a Feats of Warfare. But the flash forward, Chaffles able to flash out. Frostbite is here to collect, and so they go 1-for-1 in the top side of the map. That is a kill going over to Targon and Aztec. Because they got the first kill, they do get the Feats of Warfare. So that's actually pretty monumental for Targon at this junction in the game.
Yep, especially after the if DMJ chooses to just rotate back up to the top side, it's going to be difficult for them to fight those grubs. Yeah, Frostbite finding a lot of success after finishing his Rod of Ages, especially.
Yeah, look at his bounce through. He is definitely winning these trades now, and anytime that he has flash up, he will be looking for the flash rune prism into solo kill.
I don't think you can really just go for a flash rune prism. Ari has Spirit Rush, so you're going to be trading your flash for Spirit Rush every time. But he is finding nice trades, and it's difficult because we see Minty also going for Rod of Ages, so scaling builds coming out of both mid lanes. Boxy is alone on these grubs, and Targon said they have not committed the same pressure that they did last time, where they had 4 members up on the top side to set prio. Both AD carries now bot side.
Yeah, this is so awkward for Demacia because Lowell was in the 2 versus the 1, and so Crispy has 2 levels on him here. So usually you'd be happy to just leave these ADs in the side lane, but 2 levels down with a Vayne that has Condemn, so they do feel like they need to commit numbers down. So they're just going to go for the trade of objectives. They still don't want to fight these objective fights yet. So it's another 1-for-1 trade here as both of these teams are on 2 objectives.
Yeah, it's a handshake back and forth. It's just a different side this time around. So neither team going to get to their break point for spawning their Void Grubs. Only going to have 3. Farm remaining relatively close everywhere except for the top side. And Boxy finding a nice farm advantage for themselves over Aztec as well.
Yep, Aztec with the kill though, able to actually be even on gold, so very close on gold here.
Yeah, that VIQ was just short, hadn't mentioned in the chat. Yeah, the dive under mid was unfortunate. Blue buff down on the map, and Aztec has cease and desist. We're looking to the bot side, trying to find a pickup. Boxy is also on his Grugs though.
Yeah, I think we could see, but there's no objective down here to fight over, so it's really whether or not they think they can find the kill. Aranan does have Nature's Grasp up, so they could look for kind of a long form rundown, but into a Zeri with the ability to escape and the Renata with the disengage, I think they agree that it's a better thought to to just reset. They'll call it off.
I'm taking a look at these lane assignments, and Chaffles is he's not freezing the wave out, so Bell is still able to receive experience, and he's getting some farm. But Chaffles has been dominant in this matchup. So I'm curious to see as bot lane resets if we have another reassignment.
Yeah, kind of an awkward moment here where Demacia catches Crispy on a recall, and so they actually force a wave in, and they get free vision of Aztec. So he was showing bots, so this will actually buy Boxy a lot of time here, and now Boxy does have the tempo for Demacia. We'll see what they're able to do with it here.
Yeah, but I think it's the right choice to go for a lot of farm when you know that you've been spotted out early on, but forget about all that. Oregon is in the top bush, and he has not been spotted.
So yeah, level 11 coming out for Frostbite here. Look at this massive chunk, but it's a flash into Vault Breaker as they use it all. Cease and desist, Nature's Grasp, and it will be a shutdown and a second kill collected, and they give it onto Minty again. So Frostbite pushed up there, but he did not have the vision. Oregon sneaks in. Great play coming out of Oregon and Aztec as Targon is able to get one. And they bounce back with more tempo, Jason, up to about 1,200, 1,300 gold lead here.
Yeah, DMJ pushing in the bot side. Crispy catches the wave right outside his tower, and he's going to be able to stay nice and healthy to pick up his own farm. So this is a win-win situation for Targon across the map at the moment. There's a lot burned, but it looks like it should all be back up for the next objectives.
Yeah, if we take a look at the objective timers, we've got Herald in a minute, Dragon in 2 minutes, so yeah, we should see the objectives back up. Itemizations coming in. I'd love to see Gnar and Zeri finish their items before they fight again. but we do see
Absolutely.
Targon with first items completed, so they're in a happy spot here to fight before their counterparts get their items completed. This is
Yeah,
a really crucial point in the
another
game for
gold
Targon.
available for Lowell as
Oh,
we have
Bell is
engaged
going to
top
get
stun
stunned.
connect.
The damage comes through, and he is shredded. He only has the armor boots, and it won't be enough into a Triforce Vi and a Blade of the Rune King Aurelia as that Nart gets blasted down.
Yep, still unable to pick up his first item, as you mentioned. Boxy and Frostite up here to the top side. There's plenty of damage if Chopples is held down. Glacial Prison forward down onto Aztec. He's still rooted.
Yeah,
Frostite
Minty and
moving.
Oreganon are here, but will it be soon enough? Aztec trying to space it out. That's already Frostite down as the Spirit Rush through, and Boxy should die as well. He is going to drop, and so that's a 2 as Demacia overextend, trying to capitalize on the push here, but they've got the backup. Oreganon and Minty on a huge roam timing. This is going to be 2 kills, and this is going to be their third objective, which will secure them feats if they pick this up here.
Yep, great rotation timing over from Minty and Oreganon to show up and make sure that they can protect. I thought Aztec would die even though at the end of the play, but they managed to have their cake and eat it too. Choffles with a stun over the wall, looking for more.
A nice handshake there. Charm will just miss, but Chestnut keeping his top laner alive with a nice handshake, and so yeah, that is feats of strength going over to Targon, and Targon with about a 3.5k gold lead. I mean, this is. We said that they were the favorites for a reason. They're looking good at this point of the game. About 17 minutes in here, we are going to see Dragon coming up in a matter of seconds, and this will be,
Twisted advancing the bot side, going for a dive on the well.
This is pretty deep though. There's no wave here. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to actually do this, and that is going to be Barrier coming out, but Oreganon will drop to the tower on the other side of it. And Crispy goes down, so they do kill Lowell, but at what cost? As both Crispy and Oreganon will drop.
I think that's a little bit of unfamiliarity with diving on Maokai. I think you either have to start with your Twisted Advance or use it right before you're about to die, because when he dropped the tower aggro, it picked it back up onto Crispy. And they chose to exit the tower different directions, so they pick up the kill, but a double kill on the backside for DMJ, and now Dragon being taken.
Yeah, I mean, because of that tempo, they really cannot contest here, so they went for the dive, and they got the kill, but certainly not worth it here as they give over an objective to a team that's down in gold. Still down 3k, but now up at Dragon. Demasi's going to be really happy with that one. That's kind of one of those where when you're playing Zeri, you're just getting dove under tower and there's nothing you can do, but you get the kill and then your team gets the dragon, you're kind of happy with that. That's kind of worth.
Yeah, I think it's about as good as you're going to feel after dying under your own tower.
All right,
yeah,
Chapel's
continuing
nice
to reset for DMJ.
Continuing to shove in here. I do think that they want to find a way to unlock this Aurelia because yeah, Bell is now just simply because the range advantage able to try and even it out here. Hostile takeover lands, and that will be onto both Minty and Oreganon. Lowell pops
no
ulti as well, but nothing. Yeah. So that's good for Targon.
Nothing to be done on the end of the play.
That's pretty big cooldowns here. Let's check objective timers again. I guess next thing is going to be Dragon in 4 minutes. Kind of an awkward point in the game because Otacon's going to be up in a minute, but neither team will probably just rush straight to it unless we see a big fight. Oreganon is going to be looking here.
Forward.
Twisted Advance lands onto well a bit too far out. And we don't have an item completed on this Maokai yet, so definitely got to be cautious.
Squishy little guy, but DMJ will manage to defend that tower, but lose their bot side. Bell, wasn't watching, but must have been either forced to or chose to recall so he could pick up his Trinity Force, and now back out on the lane.
Yeah, it's a reassignment here as they send Frostide topside. And I guess they don't. Demacia doesn't want this Gnar into Aurelia matchup any longer.
Yep, the CS advantage was starting to grow again. We saw some nice trades. The range advantage is real, playing into Gnar, but an engaged topside stun lands.
And he does have his team for backup here, but he's gonna Realm Warp out, and so with Realm Warp he will be able to escape. Oreganon is here though. There is a flash twist advance angle, but they don't actually go for it. They don't full commit. So it is going to be ult for ult. Frosteye will
Yeah, really nice
escape.
use of Realm Warp to stay to escape before Reganon arrives. And right after the stun was down, his tower is destroyed for Targon. But now the real battle
Oh,
begins. Shuffle's
Frosteye with
deep
a
down on the
gorgeous
cross side.
flash away from that damage, and they are going to get the kill as the Frozen Tomb seals Reganon's fate there. Yeah, that Glacial Prism definitely put him to rest. Wow, just it's kind of been a story of slight oversteps here. Crispy and Aztec straight onto the Otacon.
Yep, an immediate answer out of Targon, so not going to let the pressure go to waste. They said there's space and we can take this. Vision is controlled, but DMJ knows this is going down.
Yeah, this is the Voracious. This is the GA version. So everybody is up on Targon. They all have it. And so I want to see them try and find a way to press this advantage. It's really not worth taking this objective if you don't use it. They've used their tempo to go ahead and get it. So I'd love to see Targon look for a play here. They've got the ability to dive with Vi and Maokai. And so we'll have to see where they pull the trigger.
Yep, I want to see them all reset and then get back out on the map and then try to make some moves with this. You've got your Vi Ahri combo. I want to see them dive again. They've done it twice already this game. I want them to continue making that play. And ideally right before this dragon that's about to spawn so they can pick themselves up an objective. Chaffle's pushing in the top side. He does not have teleport available. Minty's shoving in bot. Frostite and Bell both have their TPs up.
Let's talk about the vision here because Chaffles is looking for the 1v1 actually. He is level down. Frostite is going to be able to walk it out. So when we talk about the vision, look at how pressed in Reganon and the rest of Targon are able to be here. They've got nice deep vision lined up, and Demacia is going to try and clear some of this out, but there's one on Raptors here. They're the team that has complete control over the river.
Engage over the wall as Vi charges the punch but doesn't take it.
And again, they have the Voracious buff. So any fight that you would think, maybe that's a bit too far, that's kind of what they want to be taking right now.
Yep, 200 gold and an immediate withdrawal whenever that happens. As we had a Realm Warp with 3, but Chaffle's just going to walk out the backside.
That should be them evacuating the Baron, though. This should be just a free dragon take, and so Targon will just go straight onto the dragon. And again, it's not a kill, it's the Voracious buff. So they do capitalize. Chaffles is dead for the moment. He's regenerating in the base, but his team is going to take the permanent buff there, and yeah, they don't get quite as much.
Not able to make his way out. Invest the flash. I wonder if yeah, they definitely got the space and pressure they needed for their team to take dragon. Probably could have managed to save their flash since they had the Voracious.
I think he was looking for it. He was looking out for us. I think that was for us, Jason. He was I'm probably not going to get this play, but if I do, how sick
surrounded. It would have been sick.
Yeah.
Sometimes you play for the highlight. It looks cool.
I appreciate the angle. He was looking for the angle. Boxy is on a one-man mission here. This is crazy. But unless Crispy finds him, he will just escape. So Boxy is going to get his reset channeled. Yeah, that was behind enemy lines there.
So it's been a while since we've been able to look for a Vi pick play, either with Flash Q or the Cease and Desist. And I really want to see those keep running in. It's tough for me to see Vi, these champions that are really predicated on finding a pick, and you can do that within team fights, but the rest of the time you're missing some value. As Chaffles goes in for the topside fight, doesn't manage to do too much damage, and Frostite's just kiting them back a bit.
Yeah, but look at the kite off here. Chestnut is going to spot this out, so nice early vision, but Reganon is here. It's a flash out from Aztec, and they are going to commit quite a bit down, but look at that hostile takeover. It's on to 3. It might buy him enough time. Bell is here on the backside. He is going to be taken down. There's a 1 for 2 so far as Lowell and Bell are diving hard on the bot side. Meanwhile, Crispy is fighting out Boxy on the other side of the map. Boxy actually potentially winning this 1v1. Crispy going to dash and tumble forward, though. The Silver Bolts will collect. Lowell is now in. The condemn, but it isn't into a wall. The flash out from Crispy. What
Oh,
a sick outplay as Crispy overperforms. It's a 4-for-1. And Targon step on the throats of the Demacian Justice.
Crispy says, Crispy knows that Zeri's got auto attacks for skill shots and manages to dodge almost all of them. Finds the pickup. What an outplay!
What a play that was. That was really impressive. It looked like with the Chestnut's hostile takeover topside, Demacia might be able to actually turn that around. It might work for Demacia.
It looked
But
devastating.
they
But
kited it out.
there yet.
Boxy wasn't with the team, and Crispy was able to win that 1v1. Lowell dashes back over the wall on across the terrain, and the incredible outplay from Crispy with his cards on the table pulls out a second
looking
kill.
for a deep fight bot side, manages to land the stun. Frosteye dropped low. He doesn't have the stun to cancel this.
Oh, he needed one more Q. Oh.
So close.
And he had
He's got a
Vanguard's
kill off there.
Edge. You have to wonder, Jason, Vanguard's Edge up just at the end of it. Oh, that was so close to capitalizing on that.
It was so very close. But it's definitely going to still create pressure. Rise forced to reset. Both bot laners now moving to answer Choffles. He's managed to get his level 16. And that was what I was looking for, though. I mentioned it. I want Aztec, Oreganon, and Minty to just
Oh, they used
deep.
the hostile
And here
takeover.
they are again. Cease
Here we
and
go.
desist on the
So,
Boxy.
yeah, it's all in. The charm is landing, and so yeah, Targon pushing hard here. They're gonna roll in, and again, look at the vision. It's lit up like a Christmas tree. The enemy jungle where they want to be. So they've got the Baron. They're taking over the map here. Targon is definitely pushing in, and the Vice is beginning to close. 7,000 gold lead. Targon has not often have they had a position like this and not been able to continue to push it out.
I think Bell was going to shove him away, though. He
Yeah,
wasn't going to throw him into the
that
tower.
is ultimate use from Bell, so we did miss that, but it's ulti for ulti.
It's up every time.
Frost able to find some damage down. Crispy is in alone here. This is way too deep, though, as a hostile takeover onto Crispy will land, but they get so much value out of him backwards. Look at that, though. They're able. Lowell is here at the perfect timing. No way, Demacia are going to turn this.
Out.
They actually fight that off. They lose their tower, but they completely win in the overextension.
And now the Realm Warp going to bring 2 back over to Choffles. He's full HP, but 3 are raining down on him.
Yeah,
Hostile takeover is not available.
He does a lot of damage, though. I'm not sure if they're stuck in here with him or if he's in there. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Boxy will drop. Yeah, I don't think he expected
some resets
that.
on the queue. Frosteye drops low, unable to finish it. As 4 rotate over to take down Choffles, and that's an ace delayed for the DMJ. So a nice base defense. They only dropped 1 tower.
It feels so sloppy because it's bad for Targon, and you're happy for Demacia, but when you look at the gold, the needle doesn't move. It's still a 7,500 gold lead for Targon. So Demacia is not out of the woods. That is step 1. They got the base defense down.
It's a great punishment to make sure that Crispy doesn't get to walk into their base and then walk out for free.
Chestnut too far
but
forward.
Definitely their reliance on some mistakes from Targon as they move. Targon moves to take another dragon to bring themselves to soul point.
Yeah. I like these wards down, and we see Sweeper on cooldown for Oreganon, but he's walking over them, but he hasn't found them. So something he can look back on here is just sweeping these wards as they come through. His teleport will come through. This could be a full team commit, but Demacia just not there in time. And so
almost a steal. Nice look at from Lowell, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Unfortunately, this is a dragon.
Yeah, Jin's not in this game. His bouncing grenade isn't here, so they'll have to rely on something else if they're gonna win this one. Starting by,
I think what they need to rely on is keeping their side lane shoved out, buy some space for themselves.
Anytime with a Rise, that's a great angle, right? Go back to bases, go back to the 1-3-1, let your Rise get farmed up in the side lane. He's gonna take a tower here, and really they need to answer this.
4 on the bot side, so he's fully cut off, but just going to reset out here, and I think that's the right angle as Boxy moves forward.
Yeah, that was
it. Be able to chase Targon away.
Minty able to land the charm, and so they do land some nice poke, but he unable to dodge the charm out back. So in return, it's actually Demacia that's pretty happy with that, and this is going to force like a weird tempo timing. I don't like what Targon is doing with their tempo right here. They feel discordant at the moment, but they do have a big gold lead, just under 7,000. Chaffle's looking to try and find an end to this game here. Frostide potentially caught out. There is Realm Warp up, but it's an engage full in mid as Crispy will be murdered. As soon as Oregano walked away, they went for it and they committed. So they get 1-for-1. Carries die for both sides, but anytime that you're down in gold, you're happy to trade 1-for-1.
Yep, you know that Minty's bot side, he has teleport available, but does not invest it. One taken for both teams.
Yeah, we'd have to look back on what happened. It was probably a glacial prism that happened, but Crispy dying with ult, flash, and barrier up. Just have to assume a momentary lapse in communication or coordination or focus. But yeah, dying there is definitely detrimental.
Yeah, but I want to see at this point in the game these waves pushed up in the lanes. And I want to see a Revenant and Aztec moving between to rotate and provide pressure for ganks, because that's all of their engage outside of a charm. As Chaffles jumps forward, he said, "I'm the engage." Just goes raw onto Chestnut. He's stacked up his passive now, looking for more.
Oh, and that's the Nature's Grasp from Revenant. And you could tell that Chaffles and Oregano wanted that, but they were just, it's only the two of them. The rest of their team is not there. And so that is Nature's Grasp down. I think Chestnut is actually lucky to get away there, but also happy that he's gotten one of the major engage tools from Targon out of the way.
Yeah, it looks like a late call, late pulling them back as the ultimate's invested. But definitely don't want to give over a double kill by mistake, as this Baron comes up and the cease and desist down onto Lowell.
Is down onto Lowell. We have to watch this as on the bottom side of the map, but on the top we do see Minty with a pickup topside. So Lowell trying to turn this around, and he does kill Vi in the 1v1. Bell too far forward. Frostide is going to teleport in, but it's already been a 2-for-1 as Aztec playing without the team, but also Chestnut getting caught and Bell dancing too far in. So kind of 3 oversteps, all of them getting punished here, and yeah.
But again, these waves are not pushed in. There's nothing for Targon to take for quite a while, so they need to have these waves pushed in so they can pressure, or they need to go to this Baron. You need to pick one.
They wanted to do Baron there, but their jungler was the one that died, so they don't feel confident in just forcing, even though they have the big numbers and they could play some type of vision game. You see, Demacia has fought hard to get some vision back in their blue side here. They are going to see this rotation, this ward getting a ton of value. Blue buff will be burnt down here. There's a Revenant picking up one. So now choking out a lot of the vision, and the pings are going down. You can see from both teams, Baron is clearly the priority. Everybody is up here. What do we have for... We've got Boxy and Frostide have flashes, and a lot of flashes up on the side of Targon. So we'll have to watch for how this fight gets played out. It's just going to be the second Baron going over. But Soul is coming up in 30 seconds here, Jason.
We're also just approaching the point in the game where these advantages start to not mean quite as much. 4 items completed onto both carries for DMJ. 2 items only available for Bell. But his role in these teamfights is to be a frontline. He needs to be a big man that throws people around and buys time for Lowell and Frostide to deal damage.
Minty is not here. Minty is waiting for the teleport. We see Frostide on the bottom of this fight, so Chaffle's going to look for another 1v1, and they are both level 18 at this point. Minty now teleporting in. Crispy looking for the angle in, but he's in alone, and he is going to have to instantly flash out. They get a lot of value, as it will be a huge hostile takeover landing onto all the carries. What an ultimate! A 5-man Gnar ulti from Bell at the time.
And it all falls apart.
It matters. Crispy dancing in, trying to find what he can, but the Realm Warp will save them all right as the dash forward from Minty. So Lowell and Frostide on the back. Boxy pushing them in, and the clamp will come through. The flash handshake from Chestnut to try and clean it up, but Chaffles will escape. It's a 1-team fight, and it's a 4-for-1, and Demacia will turn. This is only their 3rd dragon, but a huge win for the Demacian Justice.
This was a critical point in the game. If this Dragon Soul goes over, I think this match is almost 100% in Targon's hands. But DMJ have clawed it back, and now are potentially in the driver's seat with tempo for a little while after this engage. They're going to have a chance to push out their lanes. They're going to get a reset in and be able to have their pick of the litter with what to do next. Although
That
Baron's still available for Chopples.
that was such a huge ultimate landing from the Gnar to land on all 5 members, and they really timed it out. Chaffle's diving in here, almost traded back, but that he gets the flash and the solo kill, and he's still got Baron. So that's actually now they're gonna have
huge pickup to like buy that tempo back for his own team.
50 seconds of 4-on-5. They could do a lot here with 50 seconds. They might be able to crack the base, get an inhib. Jason, I'm so tempted to go back and watch that team fight back because
we can go back.
Well, let's focus on this. Well, let's go back at the end of the game because that definitely.
Okay, it was like 34 minutes.
Play. Yeah, I really want to see how that. I just felt like the way that they layered their CC, they didn't use all of it at the same time. They let the hostile takeover have full effectiveness. Then it was a 5-man Gnar ulti. Then, Boxy got the single target, and meanwhile, Lowell and Frosteye were just shredding the whole time. It was the perfect culmination.
DMJ played it phenomenally.
Yeah.
I think it was they checked every box that they're looking for in a team fight and managed to find the win there. I would say nearly insurmountable odds, but clearly they are surmountable as a zap goes down on Shuffles.
All right, now we see some buffs being taken. A lot of level 18s being hit across the map. Support's at 15 and 14, so going to be clicking over to level 16 for these last level 3 ultis in a couple of minutes here. We are 37 minutes in. This is one of the longer games, but Jason, season 3, we're not strangers to long games this year. We've had some long ones.
Teams are careful. Teams don't want to throw it all away, but Targon had a huge early game advantage, and now sitting at an 8K advantage at 37 minutes into the game means a lot less than it did 15 minutes ago. And these item breakpoints are coming through. Crispy and Lowell on nearly the same item breakpoint. A Jock Show through for Crispy, so the damage may be slightly lower. Bane's still able to put out plenty with the Silver Bolts. Frosteye finding a deep push with his teleport available to come back to his team.
Yeah, I think they are going to give over this mid tower here. And there's no Baron, but they get the top tier 2. Boxy's going to dash in, but the charm will land, and he's not as tanky as he wishes he could be. A massive 4-man. Reganon is almost dead on the back, but Chaffles is forcing area in the front. Crispy with a dash forward. Lowell with a bailout onto him. He might be able to turn this around. He does die first, but the bailout will collect. He picks up a double kill. Bell is able to get out. Frosteye is here now at this moment, and this Rise is so fed. The dash in from Bell. He'll collect 1. Will he get the second, and will it be the clean ace? It's going to be a teleport away.
Bell teleported to the top side.
He's trying to get the back.
Not here. Frosteye is going for it, and he finds him. Ace! Bell's going to get this inhibitor. What else can they take? They're going to push down mid lane. Bot side is not available to them, but they could try to get more towers. It does not look like an end angle.
The fact that the bailout onto Lowell won them that fight, that is absolutely something that we have to look at, because
Realm Warp deep into the base, we could be
this
looking
could be
for
the end. I think they're trying to end. It's 18 seconds on Crispy. I really don't see how they're able to stop this at all. The second tower is going down quickly. I mean, at this point in the game, with the Rise autos just do so much, it's still 5 seconds. The Nexus is being hit. Demacia is going to even it up. They're going to go 4 and 4. They win.
What a turnaround. DMJ clawed back victory from the absolute void and find 4 and 4 at the second half in the second round robin. What a game.
Wow, shocked.